Starting very early this morning, very early indeed. We saw the first of 20 drum and bugle corps in the preliminary elimination competition. Only the top 10 in that preliminary contest made the finals tonight and the chance to compete for almost $20,000 in prize money. We've seen so far 7 of these corps, and we'd like to, if we can, just before we continue, to get some of your ideas, Mike, on some of your comments on what we've seen so far.
Fine, I'll be happy to.
This is the Colt 45, which was our first corps in competition earlier this evening. Corps have recently added mallet percussion to give a new dimension to what I think is already an exciting sound. And of course you can see that a basic difference between corps and band is the fact that the corps are functioning without the benefit of any yard lines. They're doing it all by guiding and with only the center line. The Colt 45 is a young corps. It's always very exciting corps to see, and I think it's going to be a real contender for some national championships in the future. Let's listen to some of their music. The next corps we saw this evening was the Americanos from Appleton, Wisconsin, which is another one of the great Wisconsin corps. Well, this is a very, very young corps. Their performances, which are always Latin American flavored, are always great crowd pleasers. You'll notice that corps are judged for their musical performance as well as the marching and maneuvering, and drummer's stick coordination always has to be perfect. The buglers always have to play the right notes and in tune if a corps is going to score high in competition. Following the Americanos was a corps all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana. I think you'll notice that every bit as important to the musical aspects of the performance are the members of the flag and rifle sections. They spend just as many hours working as the drums and the bugles do, and their efforts are really very important in the general effects score, which is another caption in the judging, which is very important to the final outcome of the corps in the competition. From Belleville, Illinois, in the St. Louis area, we next saw the exciting Black Knights, which last year was one of the top 12 corps in the country. While this corps may not score as well in maybe the bugling captions or the drumming captions, their showmanship is always a great crowd-pleasing performance, and their version of Chattanooga Choo Choo is always designed to bring the crowd to their feet on the end. Corps that hasn't been heard of much in the past, but one which I think is destined to make their mark in the national finals this year is this group from Rockford, Illinois, the Phantom Regiment. As you can probably tell, the selection of music varies greatly from corps to corps, and you wouldn't especially expect to hear a group play the Shostakovich Fifth Symphony, but the Rockford Corps does it and does it very well. Racine Kilties have a drum corps tradition that's probably second to none. They've been the national champions in 1964, 1968, 69, and their uniforms alone make them one of the most distinctive corps in the nation. Kilts always have a reputation of being late comers in the season. They maybe not do too well in the beginning of the season, but always by national championship time, they're ready to be one of the top corps. They just finished an arrangement of Eli's Coming from Maynard Ferguson, which shows corps can go from Shostakovich to Ferguson in one swoop. They call themselves the Corps from the land of oranges and sunshine, and in the 10 short years of their existence, the Kingsmen of Orange County, California have already proven themselves to be a real powerhouse in the drum corps world. They capped it all in 1972 when they won the Drum Corps International's first competition. This is a corps that's really strong in every caption. They're strong in drumming, bugling, general effect, showmanship. And of course, that's what it takes if a corps is going to be a national champion, as this corps hopes to be.